It, to me, is so ridiculous that I even have to explicitly say this right now, but apparently I do. All right, let me give you some context. I posted this story on my website about this transgender model who was chosen by L'Oreal to be one of their spokespeople. The model made some comments that a lot of people found to be offensive, wrong, divisive. She said that all white people are racist. That's a quick summary. I will read exactly what she said in a second. I shared the story on my social platforms that I wrote on the website, and I said in my tweet and on my Facebook post, quote, "Props to her for speaking her truth. I love fearless and unapologetic expression. I stand behind that. I also want to explicitly say I don't think all white people are racist. Clearly. Duh. Just because I said props to her for speaking her truth doesn't mean..." Let me start over again. I should get up. That's life. Just... Okay. Just because I said props to her for speaking her truth doesn't mean I think it is the truth. I believe a lot of what Monroe Bergman said, Monroe Bergdorf. I believe a lot of what Oh, God. I thought my kids were going to come in. Be right back. This is such an important video. Un besito y bye. Hello. Bye. Say adios.
Adios.
Take two. Here we go. Summing it all up. Do I believe all white people are racist? No. I do believe that a lot of what Monroe Bergdorf said is valid. I would say most of what she said is valid. I acknowledge it. I own it. I see it as truth. Not all of what she said, but a lot of it, most of it. Could she have articulated it better? Probably. But it's not a change maker's role to pacify, placate, make everybody feel happy and safe. I acknowledge and own the fact that I am a privileged person. I, as Monroe Bergdorf said, I get access and am treated differently because I am a white passing, I am not even white passing, I am a white Latino. If I was a brown or black Latino, my experience on this planet would be very different. I own that. It is valid. I think the bigger picture is not everybody is cut out for being corporate, as Monroe Bergdorf has found out. I don't think Laverne Cox would have expressed herself this way. Laverne Cox also has been around longer, is more seasoned, is more polished, is more professional. Not that what Monroe... Well, actually, I will say this. I believe that the way Monroe Bergdorf expressed herself was unprofessional because she is a spokesperson for this luxury brand. Not even luxury, like mass product brand. And when that's on your shoulders, you can't really say everything you're thinking or how you're thinking it. And I am sure she learned that lesson now. But you know what? Not everything's about money. Like, she clearly views herself as an activist, and I applaud that. That's awesome. I am not an activist. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind. That's why I got upset at myself for engaging with so many people today on Twitter about this. You're not going to change my mind. I'm not trying to change your mind. I honestly want to preach to the choir. Like, adults, unless it's young people. Like, if I got the opportunity to speak and engage with teenagers, then with them, I probably would be very interested in having an in-depth conversation about this and other things. But most adults on Twitter, their minds are made, their DNA is set, they are who they are. And what fucking Perez Hilton has to say about things ain't gonna change that. Anyways, yeah, I don't regret expressing my support of her expressing herself. So anyways, what she had originally said was this. Honestly, I don't have energy to talk about the racial violence of white people anymore. Yes, all white people. The word violence is a bit much. However, as she has now explained after being fired, this was in the wake of Charlottesville. Context does matter. Today, after news broke of her sacking, she wrote this. The rant was a direct response to the violence of white supremacists in Charlottesville. It was not written this week. Secondly, identifying that the success of the British Empire has been at the expense of the people of color is not something that should offend anyone. Fact. It is a fact. It happened. Slavery and colonialism at the hands of white supremacy played a huge part in shaping the United Kingdom and much of the West into the superpower that is today. Anyways, almost everything she says, I agree with. You should read her words. They're very powerful. It is just fact. People of color are put in jail at a far more alarming rate than their white peers. People of color have less access to housing. People of color, even as early as elementary school, are put in detention and timeout at a far more disproportionate rate than their white peers. These are facts, people. Is every white person racist? No. Is racial bias a real thing? Hell yes.